The highlights for sure. Look at this one more time. I felt like the patience of Fan Zhendong was so impressive to keep Ma Long from getting the first attack. Very confident play from the 20-year-old, and Fan Zhendong 11-7. There's the cup they'll be playing for, the world champion. Really impressive. So let's see what else after that. It was Koki Niwa yesterday. And the amount of championship titles you can see.
这场比赛伟大、疯狂又惨烈，还有教科书的完美回合。在3大赛中，决赛能打到决胜局的情况少之又少，很容易出现一位选手突然崩盘的局面。更何况，决胜局只差2分。马龙现在是超级全满贯，还处于鼎盛时期。如果樊振东夺冠，这将开启新的一个时代。如果马龙赢了，这会是马龙统治力的延续，直到下一届世乒赛或者奥运会。
Lots of people in the world can loop the ball powerfully from both sides and have touch. What are your thoughts, Gavin?
Yeah, that's exactly it. You get to the world number 1, 2, 3, 4. It really is a mental game. You know, possibly on the world tour, these guys are playing with small injuries.
Still on the incline on his way up. Solid backhand at the back of the table early in the match. Again, players still feeling each other out. They were actually warming each other up in the practice hall, interestingly enough. Now, we talk a lot about mental focus. In the practice hall just earlier, there was a member of the staff who had a medical emergency that was quite scary, and I noticed Fan Zhendong, everyone was watching in concern, but Fan Zhendong was very focused and made sure that he kept his head in the match for practice here. That could be very distracting, and there's no question it got in the heads of pretty much everyone there, you know, human beings feeling for one another. Fan Zhendong. You know, you and I, Gavin, talked about his sweet spot and how big it is on the backhand side. That ball's a wide to the backhand shot, and he's moving to get to it, but still able to counter and generate a lot of pace. First point from Ma Long so far. And by the way, as we get started on this match, if you have any questions for the commentators, you can send them into the social media at ITTF.
And that's interesting there. Fan Zhendong opting in this early exchange to go with the little reverse serve. It's a very
taking ownership over that serve, the reverse pendulum. And I have to take it back to that meal in Kuwait a few years ago, 2015, with her. And the power has been so... Fan Zhendong had a plate full of Nutella and bacon, which you wouldn't expect an athlete maybe in the past to be eating, but he was loading up on animal fats and a lot of stuff to make sure he had an unusual amount of energy. Short side of the table, beautiful shot from Ma Long. We're seeing some slow sort of development on Ma Long's side of the table, Gavin. What do you think could be responsible other than the quality of Fan Zhendong's shots?
Yeah, he's just misfiring a little bit early on, a little bit shorter than he is at the moment to get that first attack into the right area.
There's the St. Bride vase that they'll be playing for. Since 9 is table tennis, but tennis and table tennis.
Yeah, well, since until we see that repeated though. Someone winning a major in both tennis and table tennis.
Oh, burns him on the short side of the table. When you have a set plan like that, it can be dangerous to turn the corner too early.
What was really good about that as well, Fan Zhendong going against that side spin. A lot of the time you would find that left-hand fast side spin, the ball would ping back into the corner where Ma Long...
Third ball, so bravo to Fan Zhendong.
这个很典型，出现了很多这样的球。马龙回摆，小胖发力里拉，马龙连续压制，小胖反手，然后就得分了。前面几局小胖就是反手没有打出来，被牵制。这个镜头可以看到马龙手基本和球同高，发力向前顶，力量很集中，在高点期借力好，发力又好，合力更好，威胁很大。反观小胖呢，被马龙调动，移动中下蹲比较多，脚分得开，重心起不来，勉强两个碎步衔接，为了加上力，引拍幅度大，又要制造弧线，而且给他蓄力调整身体的时间少，连续的被动，离台又远，最后身体失控，反手就顶不住了。
While he's made a comeback by quite a bit, he still has a way. So quick with that backhand, just a bullet back down the line, a parallel shot anyway. Now 5 game points for Fan Zhendong. Well placed to the middle of the table.
And that's what you have to do. If you're not going to trade someone power to power, you have to think of another way to win points. That will be either little short.
Well placed push deep on the table. Fast long push, you know, can be so good if the surprise factor is there and it's deep. To get those back. What an effort from Ma Long, and what determination and focus from Fan Zhendong to finish that point. This is going to be in the highlights for sure. Look at this one more time. I felt like the patience of Fan Zhendong was so impressive to keep Ma Long from getting the first attack. Very confident play from the 20-year-old, and Fan Zhendong 11-7 over the standing world champion and Olympic gold medalist in game 1 will be
the sponge and then accelerating out. So that straight away, that would tell us that Fan Zhendong has a slightly quicker racket than Ma Long. And funny when we go back to legends.
马龙能克制住小胖的进攻，另一个原因在于马龙的强转换、反拉、反撕、扑正手的能力。这场比赛，马龙的衔接、变化、护球能力几乎无可挑剔。就像在告诉你们，樊振东就该这么打。
Here's of course Fan Zhendong, the cannon on both sides and the touch. Almost, if that one comes back around the net, we got another shot of the year potential here. The angle, look how far he has to go to get that. There was one point with Zhang Jiko where he again turns.
马龙摆短，又回摆，小胖准备反手抢攻，球还没有打出来，马龙已经在后退了，然后一板侧身得分。马龙的预判、步伐调节、落点变化都值得学习。
Again turns just early enough. I guess I should say just late enough to not give away the opening, but early enough to get around this ball and play it down the line.
And that's a sign of a champ.
Beautiful running. He had a head-to-head winning record against Zhang Jiko, but when the match became important, Zhang Jiko would always steal the title, and it seemed like a confidence reducer, something that just Ma Long needed confidence, and in 2015 he found that and hasn't been stopped since, hasn't slowed down. But it seems like Fan Zhendong's finding some real confidence.
That's world-class play from Fan Zhendong, but I feel there, the last couple of points, they've been really good points for Ma Long as well. The backhand exchange in the second last point, he changed the pace. So he's not going to compete fast.
I'll look it up, but that had a very similar backhand-to-backhand exchange with Ma Long changing pace. Match point, it was at 10-9 in game 7. After Ma Long was up 10-6, Fan Zhendong scored 3 in a row back to the opponent. Again, soft touch to the rocket backhand off the bounce, allowing Fan Zhendong to open first. Very bold play.
And it was really bold play round the net there as well. He was doing a little bit more on the receive. He wasn't just touching shot with less spin so that Fan Zhendong could spin out.
Just a ball from wide to the forehand to get back into the backhand blocking and fishing game. And again, Fan Zhendong is going to try to keep Ma Long pinned in the backhand and only go to the forehand in this situation when he thinks it's out of reach. That was dangerous. Ma Long got a good rip at the ball, but fortunately for Fan Zhendong, Ma Long was just so... That is going for broke. Gavin, you wanted to see a chop there?
Could have been the German Steffi Graf in the tennis. A nice little chiseling slice is what I hoped I was going to see there. It was all set up here. Look at this.
If that ball comes down, it's going to be deep into the body on the backhand side. Very difficult and ambitious. Big point to break the momentum. I remember 5-2 on the scoreboard, and suddenly it was a one-point game. Now, I brought up the past, talking about... He takes over the #1 world ranking. What determination. This ball from Fan Zhendong from below the table is loaded with top and side spin and relatively shallow on the table. Ma Long, look at this, about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet inside the line, and Ma Long reaches for closed racket. Very important for Ma Long. Short side of the table and the risk pays off. Ma Long with 4 game points to tie it up. This could be a 7-game extravaganza, and the way Ma Long is playing right now, he's definitely turning things around.
He's not won many points when it's been fast diagonal exchanges, so he's had to use that brain of his, playing to the middle, playing some shots down the wings.
Nice change of pace, soft with the first. Ma Long in red at the bottom of the screen ties it up. Again, the change of pace, a real success for Ma Long. Now again, giving your all. Using the length of the table for all that power and speed.
And see how much nerves, he's mixing the placements as often as he can.
And that hand side. So with the new ranking system, I have a chance to see what the world rankings would be, and Ma Long would 5 in the world, and Wang Chunting would be #4. For those of you curious about the new world ranking, pretty consistently. Wow. And sometimes you question yourself to even know if it made it. You could hear that little tick before it hit the shirt. Maybe a little bit off the top.
And this would be equivalent to someone like Roger Federer trying to serve, and you're actually...
Down to equipment, not comes down to, but includes the equipment that you use that's built for this type of speed. The angle there that Fongenton created with the backhand. And he sees Fongenton turning the corner, stays in at the table, gets the racket out in front to keep the ball coming back quickly. Look at that, still a bit of topspin on it. Wow, the power doesn't faze Ma Long. And right after you talk about the elbow, we see when we would use that raised elbow, when you're in near the table and need to...
The surface, sometimes with this carbon that's a little bit faster, you have a soft carbon as well. So that can always give you
7 game points for Ma Long. Trying to scoop it up from under the table, but no dice, 11-3, a dominant. Blades from Hinoki to all wood, and you were telling me a little bit about that, Gavin?
Yeah, I mean the Hinoki wood that's from Japan, the cypress tree, that gives a wonderful touch and feeling round the net. And obviously with the game the way it's going now, with so many players looking to flick out and dominate the net.
I think this next question that comes in is quite a good one for that point. But Wemo
再来一个马龙压小胖反手的分析。马龙继续打常规战术，发正手短，反思小胖反手底线长球，小胖又有些被动，移动中击球，而且小胖落点没打开，重心又低，马龙压着小胖打。最后一板，马龙又加力反思反手大角度，落点和速度完美结合，小胖进入马龙的套路真的很难摆脱，只有打出超级球，很难受。
As they hit, otherwise you'd get halfway through the rally and you don't have any energy left. A little bit like runners as well.
Dima's playing. You know, it's funny in weightlifting as well. You can think about it. When you're blowing out, when you're exhaling, is when you're putting in the most effort. So the breath is super important, and I think knowing how to balance a 15-minute match. Although the speed of some of the points, the rally lengths, I think. To cover that ball as wide as Fongenton gets in with that wrist and plays it out with the Chiquita. Ma Long reaching, but the way he reaches, it's almost like he leaves his feet behind so that...
Only so much you can see from a computer screen or a TV as well. Until you actually play these guys.
From a computer screen or a TV as well. Until you actually play these guys.
It's really, really tough when you're out there on table 1.
And a lot of side spin on it, and it's tough to tell how much there is of glitch. Smart play. The ball was left out in front of Ma Long, and he uses a lot of wrist and a lot of spin to make a secure shot instead of going for a clear winner. Well, Gavin, when they showed Fongenton's hand before the serve, it looked like it was shaking.
That's just the adrenaline kicking in. Massive amounts of adrenaline.
The hand on the table is to wipe the sweat off and make sure they have full grip. Right idea from Ma Long. One to I don't know about you, but after that exchange, which was quite impressive, Ma Long had a little bit more time here, and it seemed like he really just tried to do a bit too much and hit it harder than he needed to.
马龙发小胖反手小三角，小胖里拉，马龙给小胖追身位，小胖侧身再回反手，给到了马龙的追身，小胖落点变化，一下就让马龙被动，回球质量不高，小胖迅速反应，双脚前蹬。顶住奶球，马龙调整不到位，回球下网， 这球的关键在于小胖顶住了马龙的正手，占据主动。
And a timeout. Remember, neither player has a coach in their corner as they are both from the same national association. Yesterday, I had a chance to see Luke
change directions.
Excellent backhand, changing directions just like you said, Gavin.
And we've not seen enough of that from Fan Zhendong so far. It's just been his trademark backhand on the diagonal, is what we've seen most of the time. But look at that lovely change.
Interesting call for the timeout on your opponent's serve. Wow, so we're seeing Ma Long improvisation, the improvisation that Ma Long brings to the game that makes him so tough. And look at this, baits him out, covers the middle of the table with the quick forehand, short stroke off the bounce for the winner.
Racket well out in front there.
And even that, the balance of Fan Zhendong. Big point to hang on to the 2-point lead. Again, once you've used your timeout, you want to make it worth it. You don't want to have to get... Strong opening, but once again, Ma Long relentless to reach out and cover that forehand. You have to imagine that even with the arm fully extended... Oh, beautiful inside-out steppy time so far this match.
Well, that looked spectacular, but actually that was just a percentage play. A big reloop on the diagonal.
Right, he got a 75%er from Ma Long, and he could see that it was coming long. Lightning is as fast as anyone can hit him in the world. And again, their timing to stay close to the table for this. If you watch this replayed time and time again and you only watch one player, just consider how little time they have to take a 3-1 lead. Oh, it almost comes back. Here it is, the swoopy side spin from under the table, catches a little bit off the top of the net. Still not an easy ball, wasn't very high when he hit it. At this tournament being the biggest tournament of the year. Strong start to the point, but Ma Long was just too good moving wide to the forehand, and it's 11-8 for the Dragon. It's 3 games to 1. This could be the last game of the men's singles event for the World Championships. Stay right here. Game 5 coming up.